Oh, the age. It's the oldest here.
How old?
Yeah, it's around 2.5 million years old. The next one that comes after it is Homo rudolfensis. It's closer to us, but 1.9 million years old. Then we have Homo habilis, very, very close to us. So we have us. This is us. Compared to Homo rudolfensis, we have a Homo erectus down there. Yeah. And this is what we are going to use to teach the students. You're saying?
Ako serious.
Ako serious and
Wewe ndio uko serious.
In a safe place inside of the research area of the museum. This is just here for exhibition purposes. It's quite small than ours. We are right from the Homo genus. We are right from the Homo genus, the sapien, who's now the current us, the humans. This one is our actual relative. The Boisei Paranthropus is a different genus. We lived alongside each other. That we are related to monkeys, but we are actually not. We live alongside each other in a tree, in a family tree that is human. Yeah. So Paranthropus boisei is related to chimps more than how it's related to us. But then the Homo genus, the Homo found that this site is 1.5 million years. The period of these two places is the one that makes them archaeological in nature.
A round of applause!
Excavation. So who knows what excavation is? Before we start. Have you ever heard of the term before?
So this is Nakuru. Kariandusi lazima iko mahali hapa. Ni kweli? Yeah. Then tuko na hawa Homo sapiens na kichwa yao ndio hii erectus. Sawa sawa. So Homo erectus akili yake ilikuwa ndogo ukilinganisha na Homo sapiens. Sawa sawa. Very good. Haya mawe yanaitwa obsidian. Unaona hii mawe black? It is called, ilikuwa inatumika na watu wa zamani kuchinja mnyama. Mtu wa zamani hakuwa na kisu. So ilibidi atumie nini? Mawe. Na mwingine atumia hii uta. Sawa sawa. Kwa hivyo mwanadamu sasa hapa hatumii mawe kuwinda.
Watu kama hao mmoja sasa anakuja kuona
Madam Elizabeth Masuka. Na I'm sure DJ Starboy when the program started, they were still handling 1 or 2 issues and they came after the program started. So we moved before we have our chief guest come his remarks. We would put your hands together for Mr. Dominic Saitoki.
Finding that you found there, draw it there, and then you fill in the other spaces as a team. Yeah, like I said, archaeologists work together. Okay.
ni yako kweli?
Easy.
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Zaitun Mohamed. So tulikuwa tumekuja huku hii prehistoric site na vitu yenye nimeona huku mna preserve. Okay, kuna hizi madiatomite, the early man, hizi zote hizi aziniwa zinafunzwa shule. But sasa pale shule ni kufunzwa tu, tumeishi tukitaka tukitaka hata kujionea hizi kama hizi skulls. So leo ndo nimeziona. And ni poa kwa sababu inasaidia young generation wakisoma watakuwa na ile ni ya kujua ya kutaka kuiona aziniwajione waone okay wale hadi maana walikuwa nakaaje, how was they hivyo. Sasa nikikuja huku nitaona kitu kama ile pia nitataka kujua ni ya nini, nitauliza mwenye anajua ni ya nini practically. Mimi imenifurahisha tu sana
sababu nimezunguka, nimeona kama vile nimekuwa na hii kikundi ya Nyakenywa. Hii kikundi ya Nyakenywa imekuwa ni kikundi ya Maumau, na nimezunguka nikaona mandaki mahali wazazi wetu wakati walikuwa na pambana na beberu walikuwa na jificha, na tumekuwa tukiwa tunatembelea mashule na nimeona mahali tumekuwa tumebakisha. Tutaendelea kuelezea watoto wetu sababu hao watoto ndio kesho yetu. Ndovu ya zamani sio kama ile ndovu tuko naye wakati huu, na hii ni jambo ambalo linatakikana lielimishwe kwa watoto wetu, iwe inatambulikana na kuingia kwa mashule na kuelimisha watoto wetu. Shauri hao watoto wasipojua ni kama vile sasa wao huwa wanatuona tukiwa tumevaa hizi nguo, wanashindwa hizi nguo ni za nini. Hizi nguo si tunavaa ni zile zilikuwa zinavaliwa na wazazi wetu zamani, na hizi nguo sio za kwenda sherehe kama za mambo mahali iko na ukunywaji wa pombe. Hizi nguo ni nguo za heshima. Kwa hivyo watoto wetu wanatakikana kuelimishwa sana, na sisi ndio tunatakikana tuchukue hilo jukumu tukiwa tumeshikwa mkono na serikali yetu. Kwa hivyo ningeomba wizara husika kama ya elimu ishughulikie jambo hilo kabisa.
I'm John Gowlett, and I'm now Professor of Archaeology and Evolutionary Anthropology in Liverpool, in the University of Liverpool. But I worked here at Carrion-Ducie nearly 50 years ago when I was young, really a student, and I was very, very lucky to do that work at Carrion-Ducie. In Kenya, you were really lucky that you have these very early sites, and it's just wonderful that they can be investigated and that the country takes in its education a perspective, a deep perspective for everyone of what humanity is. It's wonderful that you do this because so many other countries just look at a little bit of the past. They don't have the early sites. Kenya is one of the places where you bring all this together, and yes, I say it's partly why I love Kenya and keep wanting to come back, because it's so good that all this is taking place. It's the Carrion-Ducie Day, which celebrates Carrion-Ducie Museum and all the work that's been done here over 100 years, but it also puts it in perspective and gives it to the world, which is what I think it achieves so much.
Hey, my name is Dr. Wala Elizabeth. We are encouraging people to cherish, to visit national museums, to support them, and also to help in conservation of this heritage, because it's about when we learn about our past, we prepare for the future. So how did early man live? How did they use the things or the tools that they had? And for us in this era of technology, how are we using these tools towards preserving? Most people find museums as places where children go to, so they don't see themselves as adults that they would want to come and visit. I want to encourage you that museums are more than just exhibitions. There's so much work that they're doing, so I'm encouraging you, wherever you go, I think there are over 140 museums and prehistoric sites around the country. I'm encouraging you to go and visit the one that's nearest to you. The other challenge that I find is that we do not showcase these museums as well as we should. So we want to support the National Museums of Kenya towards publicizing what they're doing, towards encouraging more visitors to come. And the third one is, as Kenyans, we don't take pride in our culture and heritage. So when you visit other countries, you'd find that they really, really cherish where they came from. So as Kenyans, I want to encourage the domestic travelers. This is something to be proud of, to be known that we have foreigners coming to this country to study what we have every day. And that these places are not just boring places. We want to make museums exciting places, and today you're going to see what you're going to unveil. There'll be activities, there'll be opportunities for you to learn, and we want to reach out and say, please partner with us.
My name is Dr. Frederick Chalamandi. I'm the Director for Antiquities, Sites and Monuments at the National Museums of Kenya. Kenya has an extremely rich heritage, both natural and cultural, and even prehistoric heritage. Karidusi is an extremely rich site that dates to around 1 million years ago, and the site holds some very unique heritage, which is part of our Kenya's heritage in terms of human evolution. There are some wonderful tools in this particular site. There are some wonderful Chilean tools in this particular site, and that particular heritage is part of Kenya's rich and unique heritage that documents the ancestry of our own species. You and I and all of us are end products of some wonderful evolution that has occurred over many years ago. And those tools and the tools from this particular site really tells us about how human beings have evolved technologically all the way from around 3.3 million years ago into the present. And Karidusi really documents the time slice between 1 million years ago into around 500 million years ago, and that's a key time slice. And we know Homo erectus were the ancestors who meant and used those tools from this particular site. So going forward, obviously we need to really call upon different stakeholders and all of us to come together to support our government, to support the National Museums of Kenya in advancing and taking care and also promoting that unique heritage that this country has. There are many jobs that this sector can create, and I know we will work together. We will be able to tap on that heritage to create more jobs for our youth going forward. The government, they're doing their bit, but all of us, we need to support the government in really doing that. And again, also moving out of the traditional areas, tourism, the beaches, the wildlife, and tapping on the rich heritage that this country has going forward. Yes, there are some antiques, if you like, that were moved from this country. There has been efforts by different government departments and different government offices to really have those artifacts brought back to Kenya. And it's not just in Kenya alone. Across the African continent, there's been a big push for countries across Africa to have artifacts that were looted, if you like, from those countries by the colonial masters and powers, brought back to Africa. So Kenya is also involved in those discussions in trying to have those artifacts and those collections brought back to Kenya and to Africa as a whole. We don't really have the accurate numbers, and as an institution, NMK being the custodian of Kenya's heritage, we are taking stock. We are engaging different partners, different stakeholders in trying to really take good stock of those collections. And it has to be a multi-agency approach. There's no single player who can do it alone, and we are working together with different government departments to ensure that we take good stock those artifacts and those collections, and also engage different countries, different governments across the world to ensure that those artifacts and those collections are brought back to the country. But we know, like the UK has some of our wonderful collections, some of our wonderful artifacts, and like I know it's a journey we've all begun, but most of the collections are held in the UK, but there are also other countries across the world that also hold some Kenyan materials. We are aware that a lot of people in different counties are talking about the different sacred sites in their counties, and they're asking how can we partner with them in trying to conserve those particular sites, those particular monuments. So I'd like to call upon all the different county governments, the different stakeholders in the different county governments to partner with us and call upon us, and we'll be very happy to engage with them in gazetting those sites as a part of our rich heritage in this country. So please call upon us, let us know, and we'll be very happy to visit those particular sites and see how best we can conserve them and really protect them for posterity.